welcome to our Christian Assemblies online. I hope you are having a great week. I hope you are having fun, learning from home, maybe baking with your parents and grandparents, maybe playing, enjoying your toys more often and your pets as well. Welcome. So today's topic is fear. And I think it's quite an important topic right now, because every time we hear the television or we hear mums and dads and grandparents and people outside, they're talking about fear of this virus, the coronavirus or COVID-19. Every time we hear the government and other people, we are told, wear masks if you can, and then gloves. This virus can spread, and maybe you are healthy, but still you might be passing it on to somebody who is not healthy. So we are asked to stay at home. We're asked to be careful. We are asked not to go out so often. We are restricted about getting together with our friends and family, and it is a big issue. But this isn't the only fear that we can experience. You might already have a fear of something, maybe a fear of the dark. Some people have light in their bedroom when they sleep, because it's quite understandable to be afraid of the dark. Some people have a fear of spiders. However small they are, that can influence people quite a bit. Some people are afraid of wasps and flies, maybe are afraid of certain foods, maybe are afraid of doing something in front of a group of people. You know, I used to be afraid of spiders. You know, I was really afraid of spiders, because I remember even when in my teens, I used to watch a little spider cross the room and go onto the wall a long way from me, and I used to watch him and thinking, my goodness, he is pretty close, even though he was across the place where I was sitting. And whatever I was doing, I would pause and I would just watch that the spider will disappear somewhere further away. Until one day I was in the office, and in the office there was about 6 or 7 other people working. They were all girls. And suddenly, well, I was on the phone at that time, but suddenly there was a bit of a screaming going on, and everybody ran out from the office. And when I finished my conversation, I put the phone down to find out the reason why they all ran out of the office is because there was a small spider. Well, he was quite a medium size. It wasn't huge though, not like any of those spiders that we see living in Australia or in desert places like that. But it was small enough. And there I was, sitting in the office, looking at that spider and realizing what I have just witnessed. I saw a load of people who just ran out, different ages. There were some in 20s, some of 30s, and some of them in 50s. But they all ran out because they were afraid of this little spider. So I came close to that spider, and I was already a Christian at that time. And I said to myself, I am not going to be afraid of spiders anymore. I don't want to be afraid of something just like they are. I need to deal with it. And I remember finding a plastic cup, putting it on top of where a spider was. I was trying not to kill him, and putting a paper underneath that area, lifting him off the wall, and then removing him to the outside, into the garden, and then telling everybody it's all safe to come back. Safe? In comparison to huge situations people have to sometimes face, like there's some flooding going on, or maybe there are tornadoes or volcanoes, or this big virus that's happening right now. That little spider was nothing in comparison. But a fear is a fear. It's an emotion, and we all can sometimes feel afraid of something small or big. But let me show you something. Let me show you that somebody is greater than that fear. And I'm not talking about you or your parents, although they can help, or grandparents. They can probably tell you of something that they have experienced. But I am talking about God. God is greater than the fear that you are experiencing now, or in the past, or in the future. This virus that we all are afraid of, the coronavirus, is nothing in comparison to our God. Let's play a game. Who likes games? I do. I hope you do too. Let's do a guessing game. Do you know there are so many different names for fears? Or they call them phobias if it is happening all the time. For example, a fear of fears. It's called phobophobia. That's really a big name, isn't it? But there is a name for a fear of spiders. There is a name of a fear of different colors. Fear of fish, fear of vegetables, fear of various other things. Gosh, there is phobia after phobia after phobia, and the words are really big. So, after I finish speaking, you will have different slides coming along, and each slide will ask you what is that fear, and it will give you A, B, and C, and you'll need to choose either A, B, or C. One of them is right, and the other ones are wrong. C, choose one, and then the slide after that will show you what really the answer is. Then count your answers and let me know how many you got right. Maybe you can write in your comments. Thank you.
When life piles up and you're feeling overcome, stand still and believe. I won't let you drown when a cry's in your throat, watching all the waves below. Lift your eyes to the sky and trust that I won't pass you by. Fear not. If I could say it any louder, I would. Fear not. If I could say it any louder, I would. Let me show you what I see. You can't dream too big for me. So get up, get on your way. We've got things to do today. Fear not. If I could say it any louder, I would. Fear not. If I could say it any louder, I would. No, remember all I told you. Remember all I said. When the questions start arising, keep your eyes fixed straight ahead. Hold on tightly to the promise. Hold firmly to the truth that I love you. Oh, I love you. Fear not. If I could say it any louder, I would. Fear not. If I could say it any louder, I would. Fear not. If I could shout it any louder, I would. Fear not. If I could shout it any louder, I would.
Let me show you an experiment. Can you see I've got a glass of water here? It's just a bit more than half full, and I've got a piece of paper. Now what will happen if I turn it the other way? Oh, I am actually a little bit worried. What if I turn it and it will all run out and will soak my new shoes and my jeans? I wouldn't want to carry on talking if I had wet jeans. Even though it's a nice day and I probably will dry eventually, it won't be a very pleasant experience. So what if it's not gonna work? What if that experiment that should work will not work? So I'm a bit afraid that this water will get me completely wet. So I'm gonna ask somebody to help me. Lucy, can you come and help me, please? I think it's easier for me to play this experiment with somebody else being involved. So Lucy, do you mind being wet?
Yeah.
Do you mind being wet? Are you sure you mind being wet? Okay, but surely you're not going to be afraid. No. you're a very brave person. I know you're a very brave person. So if I do it and it gets water everywhere, well, it's only a fleece, isn't it? It's not a new fleece or new leggings. It's okay to get leggings dry faster than jeans. Is that okay?
No.
So if I turn it upside down and then we'll...
Don't remove the paper.
So, look at what happened. Come down, come on. Look. I hope you can see it. And look. Oh, I'm worried. I'm really, Lucy, I'm really worried. So what happens when you turn the glass upside down? Now, if you want to do that at home, ask permission of your parents or grandparents. But what's happening? The water is still there. It's not just didn't disappear, didn't evaporate. So if we imagine the water being our fear, so fear is always there, but there's something else present in that glass. What is it? It's air. So even though water is heavier than air, air is holding the water up with the help of a bit of paper. And that's what God does with us. He doesn't evaporate the fear out of our lives. He doesn't say, right, I'm going to take this coronavirus out of your life, out of your family, out of your nation, country, United Kingdom, world, and you will be okay. That will be a great solution. But you know what? He says, I will be present with you so that you can handle your fear with success. Look, the water is still being held by that air. And that's what God does with us. He says, I will hold you. I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. So turn to me with your fear. Come to me with your fear. And I will show you what to do with it. I will help you.
This is my dog Duke. I used to be afraid of dogs. When I was 4 years old, we moved to France. And as soon as we got there, we met the owner and she came with the dog. I was so frightened. But then from that day, this dog persevered with me. He came closer, just by like 2 steps closer, and I came closer. And then weeks and even months, I don't remember that well, passed. And then he came and sat near me, put his back against me, and I fussed him. I absolutely loved the feeling of him. And then ever since that day, I was never afraid of dogs. It's just the thing of me persevering and him persevering. And then he became one of my favourite dogs.
Do you like watching cartoons? Have you ever seen Flushed Away? It's all about rats and the rat kingdom. It's kind of funny. The first time I heard of it, I thought, oh, I don't really like rats. I never had a rat as a pet, but I know some people do. And it is fantastic, and I've seen it many times over and over and over again. It's one of those classics for me, and I love it. Well, I want to show you a short episode, actually 2 episodes. One of them is when Roddy, who is the main character of the cartoon, he gets left at home, which he's absolutely fine about. His master has gone on holidays with her parents, and he is at home by himself, and he's having loads of fun with dolls, with trucks, and all sorts of things. Imagining himself being the owner of this big apartment where he lives in London. Until there's another rat comes in and invades the home, and Roddy wants to get rid of him. And so he tries to flush him away down the toilet, but instead Roddy gets in and Roddy gets flushed away. And there is that big fear portrayed in the cartoon because Roddy doesn't know how to swim. And that's one of the fears that people can experience. So how about you watch and we'll meet and we'll talk next.
You know what you are? You're a real gent.
Well, after a hard day of navigating sewer pipes, there's nothing better than
Relaxing in a jacuzzi whirlpool bath. That looks so inviting.
Oh, yes, the water looks perfect. Now, you hop in and I'll press this lever to get the bubbles going.
Right, in we go. Oh, wait. I know we got off on the wrong foot before, right? But you know, I really think we're gonna get along, don't you?
Swimmingly.
Be seeing you, my friend.
You plonker! You think I don't know a toilet when I see one? You were gonna flush me down the loo.
No. It's a big jacuzzi, deluxe model.
But then you won't mind if I get the bubbles going, will ya?
No, not the lever. Have mercy. No, I can't swim.
Bon voyage, me old cream cracker. Hold your
Stop,
nose.
stop. You can't do this.
You were gonna try and flush me. Let's see how you like it.
Have you seen my dad?
Oh no, I can't swim. I can't swim. I can't swim. I'm in the sewer. No! Ah! Ah! Huh? Hello? 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 Help? 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 I'm gonna open my eyes and I'm gonna be home. It's all a bad dream. Oh, I'm not home. I want to go home. Shush! Stop it. Stop it. Ronnie! Stop it. I want to go home. Oh, put yourself together. I can't. I'm just frightened. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. All right, Ronnie, old man. You can get yourself out of here. And you will. Never forget. The blood of the courageous St. James clan flows through your veins.
Hope you enjoyed the short clip from Flushed Away. That was scary for Roddy when he got flushed down the toilet and he had to swim when he doesn't know how to swim. And that was a lot of water. You know, later on in the same cartoon, when he gets back home after all his adventures and he's safe in his apartment, he realizes that he leaves his friend Rita behind, and the whole Ratropolis, which is the place where the rats have made underneath London and they live, is going to be is in danger of being flashed with the amount of water and disappearing. And he realizes he knows how to help them. So he then decides to go back. Now, what happened to his fear that he was afraid of earlier on? He was afraid of the water because he didn't know how to swim. But he realizes he needs to go back to help. So he actually asks the same rat to flush him down again because he wants to go back to help Rita and save Ratropolis. That's amazing. You know, that's the same that happens to our fears. You know, we don't underestimate our fears, and we should not take it for granted that sometimes we can be afraid of small things and big things. And to some people, being afraid of spider, they can laugh if they want to, but actually that's a real fear. And being afraid of the dark, that's a real fear too. Any kind of fear is a real fear. However, you don't have to leave it like this. As Christians, we believe you can come to God and ask Him to help you. You can pray about this and then take a step at a time. You take a step at a time and you try to help yourself and deal with the situation a step at a time. Just like in the testimonies, when I was afraid of spiders, when Lucy was afraid of dogs, when Peter was afraid of flying, one step at a time, that's all it took to deal with the fear. I hope you'll get a chance to watch the rest of the film, Flushed Away. It certainly is funny. I want to show you what happens when we react to fear in the wrong way. Now, I've got the appetizer cans. What happens if you shake a can? Now, it can be a Coke or something else. Again, if you want to do this experiment at home, Please talk to your parents or grandparents. Don't just do that, because we can end up being in trouble. So I'm going to shake these cans. I've got 2 cans, and the reason I have 2 is because there is a reason for that. So I'm going to shake them. So what happens if I carry on shaking? I'm going to do the boogie woogie. I'm going to do some dancing. I'm going to do some jumping. But I'm going to carry on shaking them continuously. And inside, the pressure builds up. And the same way is with our fear. Pressure builds up inside of us. The more you think about the fear, whatever fear it is, whether it's a fear of the dark, fear of spiders, fear of dinosaurs, fear of certain foods, or the virus that we're currently facing, the more you're thinking about it, the more pressure is building up on the inside of you. And you're thinking, oh my goodness, what if? And how about? And you know what? Life is not made out of what ifs. What ifs influence you so much that the pressure on the inside gets building. And what happens with the can? If I was to open it now, after shaking and shaking, we're going to go everywhere. And rightfully so. So if we carry on with this, the pressure is building up. It's really, really building up. So what happens if I open it? Now it's pouring out. The pressure is built up in the can and it's still foaming. This one, I'll carry on shaking. So maybe we will have even more fun with it, because there's going to be a lot more foam coming out. But can I tell you something? You know what God does to the pressure on the inside of us? If you come to Him, because God says, come to me with whatever you are carrying, with whatever you are facing. Come to me and I will help you. Whatever difficulties you are going through, come to me, because I have overcome them, and so you will overcome them too. Overcoming means dealing with them peacefully. And so when you come to God, you start speaking into your pressure. I will not respond to the pressure of this fear. I will not be afraid of the fear of spiders. I will not be afraid of the dark. I will not be afraid of dinosaurs. I will not be afraid of, some people are afraid of seeing blood, so I will not be afraid of blood. I will not be afraid of certain animals. Some people are afraid of crocodiles or tigers or even sometimes dogs. I will not be afraid of this virus, the coronavirus. So every time you speak into your fear, you're calming the pressure on the inside. And that's what I'm doing with my finger. I'm calming the pressure on the inside. Are you watching? I will carry on doing this until the pressure is completely gone. So now, and nothing at all has come out of it fizzing out. It's completely still. That's what God does to our fears. When we come to Him and submit it to Him, we say, Lord, I need you in this situation. Help me. And He calms them.
Do you know, years ago, I used to be afraid of flying. In fact, I was about 20 at the time, and I lived in London, and we flew up to Glasgow with my old boss. And halfway, between London and Liverpool, one of the engines caught fire, and they told us we're going to have to make a crash landing. Well, we landed in some airfield miles from Liverpool. But you know, for years and years and years, I was unable to get in a plane again. Even the thought of getting in a plane just scared me. Until one day, I went to the airport and I decided I was going to go. I was get on the plane and I was going to fly. And when I got to the airport, boy, my feeling inside was, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. But I pushed through, still fearing. I got on the plane. And do you know now, I can even fly to Australia, which is 13 hours to Singapore and probably 8 or 9 hours to Australia. So you too can overcome the fear. Do it. Even if you're fearful, do it. Get on and do it, because you can overcome fear.
For our craft activity, we're going to make a shield. Have you ever seen a knight? A knight will wear something to protect their head, which will be a helmet, something to protect their body, but they will also have a shield. And if they were all dressed up in that metal, which was very heavy to wear, you will never recognize one knight from another knight. And so they decided to have a crest of their coat of armor painted on their shields. And so we're gonna make a shield. This is one I made earlier. We will draw the picture of the shield, and then I'd like you to fill it in with the things that represent you. So perhaps maybe you like playing football, or maybe you like creative craft activities, or maybe you like ice cream, or maybe you love cats or dogs, anything like that. You need to fill it in, because that is your coat of armor. That tells us about your personality. So we're going to take a piece of paper, and I'm going to bend it a little bit halfway, and I put a mark there and also there as well. That's to help me to draw the shape of the shield, like this. So it needs to be a little bit pointy, and it has points there as well. So there is the shape of the shield. So I'm sure you can have a piece of paper at home, and you can draw this. And once you've drawn, then you can fill it in with the things that you think represent you. Now, if you have a bigger piece of paper like this, I've made it earlier, and it's just English shield. So it's kind of like a flag of England. But it doesn't have to be that big. And of course, it doesn't have anything else except the flag. So if you carry on and outline your shield, and maybe you can fill it in with things that represent you. So this is the one I've made earlier. So here we've got, I put a cross, because for me, to be a Christian is in every part of my life. As you know, when I go to a church and I do a Sunday school, or if I go to a school assembly, I talk about Jesus, because that matters so much to me. I put the praying hands because I love to pray, and I pray through the day. I love music, variety of different music. I play bass guitar, but I also like to hear new music, and I like also listening to Christian music too. My favorite flower is tulip, and so I put the flower tulip. I put the flower tulips here. Then I put a picture of me, I guess, being very happy. I love to make people happy, and so there's a picture of me, and then there's also a picture of my pussycat, not very good. So, Lucy, did you do your shield?
Yes.
Oh, okay, let's have a look.
So, this top one is gymnastics, because I love to train. Because we're in quarantine right now, I spend most of my time doing that as well as schoolwork. My other one is art, because I like to create stuff and make stuff. Then there's music, because I play the piano and I used to play the guitar. And then this one is animals, because I love to care for them, and whenever we see like an injured rabbit or cat, we try to help them and save them. And my last one is technology, because I like to create stuff online, take photos, and I do some drawing on there as well.
And so, out of all of those, what would you say is the most important one that you can't do without?
Probably gymnastics.
Gymnastics, okay. And second best?
Technology.
Oh, I wonder what makes you special. Please let us know, and maybe somebody can post in comments for you a picture of your shield, coat of arms. What makes you special? Because each and every one of us is special and unique. As Christians, we believe that that's how God made us. He made us individual, unique and special. I hope you enjoyed the session today. Please like us on YouTube and Facebook and other places. And please join us next time. Bye!